I think most people are disappointed. They've tried a lot of things and they don't work. You know where I was 6 years ago myself. I've been to all the seminars, I listened to all the tapes, and where I find myself, sabotaging myself, living in a 400 square foot bachelor apartment, washing my dishes in the bathtub, feeling sorry for myself and feeling jaded like I tried everything, totally broke, 38 pounds heavier than I am now, and I turned all that around in a year by using what we're sharing here. And what I basically did is discovered, how do I condition my mind and emotions so that I can consistently take the actions that are in alignment with my goals. So I'm not fighting and trying to push myself and discipline myself, but so that those actions are automatic for me, as automatic as the old bad habits used to be.
Breaking through fear. Fear often comes with negative self-talk. Challenge these thoughts by asking yourself if they're realistic and helpful. Don't try to conquer your biggest fear right away. Break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. This will build your confidence and make facing your fear less daunting. Allow yourself to feel the fear without running away from it. Breathe deeply and focus on calming yourself down.
We show people how to condition themselves to break through their fear and take action. Because listening to tapes or watching a video or taking notes or reading a book is never enough. You've got to take action. And I think what's really valuable in our tapes is we seem to be able to get people to take action. Each program, each tape, each day. When someone's done, we have them do something before they go to the next day. And it's something simple enough that anybody can accomplish it. But again, each day builds on the day before. And that's how you get lifelong success. You don't get it by one day just turning your life around. That kind of success is short-lived.
What makes people successful? Successful people are driven by goals, big or small. They have a clear vision of what they want to achieve and are able to stay focused on working towards it. Success often takes time and effort. Successful people are willing to put in the hard work required to hone their skills and achieve their goals. Having a strong knowledge base in your chosen field is essential. Successful people are also lifelong learners, constantly seeking new knowledge and skills.
What makes people successful? And I usually say inspiration or desperation. I was pretty desperate in my life. I came out of a background I didn't like. And so I got really committed to producing results. And I was out there pushing hard. And I was going to be the best. And I was going to be number one. I was going to make it happen. But then once I got those results, my brain said, is this all there is? And I realized my whole life was wired basically for me to achieve and contribute and make things happen so I could eventually be happy. And I changed that conditioning. I now, instead of achieve to be happy, I happily achieve. And it relates to what I teach in this tape program, really. What I'm teaching in this program are 4 lessons. And the first lesson of being able to shape your destiny is how to really manage and master your emotions. Because most people never learn to manage that. Why do people overdrink? Why do they oversmoke? Why do they go out there and try to distract themselves through shopping or doing something else to try and change their focus? It's because they've really not learned how to master their own emotions. And, look at people like Elvis Presley, or you look at a John Belushi or a Freddie Prinze, who seem to have all the quote-unquote success, and yet they're no longer here, and the quality of their life was questionable. And I think the second lesson is that most people never learn how to really master their physical body. Not just how you look, but the amount of energy that you have moment to moment. That determines how your life's going to be. I think most people fail because they run out of emotional gas while they're climbing the mountain of success. Third thing that causes people to be unhappy is they've never mastered their relationships. And how am I ever going to have a great relationship with you or my wife or my kids if I haven't mastered my relationship with myself?
Mastering money. Mastering money is about taking control of your finances and building a secure future. Understanding where your money goes is the first step. Use budgeting apps or simply track expenses in a notebook for a month to see your spending habits. Our attitudes towards money are shaped by upbringing and experiences. Reflect on your money beliefs and how they might be influencing your behavior. Invest for the future. Investing allows your money to grow over time. There are various investment options with different risk profiles. Consider your goals and risk tolerance before investing. Live below your means. Don't let lifestyle creep erode your savings. Avoid unnecessary spending and focus on long-term financial well-being.
Mastering money. Not that money is the answer, but we live in a Western culture. And I believe you could sit here and I can make myself feel happy no matter what happens. But if I sit here and just meditate and make myself feel happy and that's all I do and just quote unquote bliss out, somebody's going to come and take my furniture. I got to learn in this world how to take control of my economics. So those 4 lessons are what personal power really teaches, only instead of just teaching it intellectually, we get people to make a little change in each of these areas each day where they master some of their emotions, they master some of their relationships, they master some of their physical body and their energy level, and they master some of the economics of their life.
Behavior is conditioned. Behavior is definitely conditioned through a process known as learning. There are two main types of conditioning that play a significant role in shaping our behaviors. Classical conditioning. This type of conditioning involves learning through association. It was famously studied by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov, who conditioned dogs to salivate at the sound of a bell by pairing it with the presentation of food. In essence, a neutral stimulus, the bell, becomes associated with a naturally occurring stimulus, food, and triggers a response, salivation. This principle applies to many of our everyday behaviors. For example, if you get a delicious snack every time you visit a particular coffee shop, you might start to crave that snack just by walking by the shop, even if you're not hungry. Operant conditioning. This type of conditioning focuses on the consequences of behavior. Psychologist B.F. Skinner pioneered this theory, which suggests that behaviors that are reinforced are more likely to be repeated, while behaviors that are punished are less likely to be repeated. For instance, a child who receives praise for cleaning their room is more likely to clean it again in the future, positive reinforcement. Conversely, a child who gets yelled at for talking in class is less likely to talk in class again, negative punishment.
Behavior is conditioned. A lot of things we do are on automatic pilot. If I reach out here to grab your hand, your hand goes out, you don't think about it. But there are a lot of emotional conditioned patterns. Somebody says something to you and you just respond. Or you get angry and you reach for food or alcohol or a cigarette or a TV to distract yourself. We're on automatic pilot a good deal of the time. And what's important for us to realize is conditioning is a fact of life. It's happening to us all the time.
Whether we want to be conditioned or not, it's happening to us.
Advertisers are spending billions of dollars, and we are constantly being impacted. If I say to most people, Winston tastes good like A, most of them are going to say cigarette should, or how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S. What we don't realize is that we're constantly being bombarded with messages, with conditioned emotions. Every advertiser, every car advertiser, Pontiac is selling us excitement. Hyundai is telling us we'll be intelligent if we buy theirs. Mercedes is telling us we'll have prestige. Pepsi spent $15 million, Fran, for Michael Jackson, for 3 60-second commercials to condition us, because we like the feeling he gives us. Well, if we want to feel that way, we're supposed to reach for a Pepsi. He doesn't even drink Pepsi. So if you don't have a plan for conditioning your own mind and emotions, you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. That's just reality. And if you want to be physically fit, you certainly don't go one time and do aerobics one time and say, boy, now I'll be healthy for life. What you do is you go and you condition yourself on a consistent basis, and what happens is each day you make a little bit of progress until now you are vital and strong and you have your power. And the same thing is true with your emotions. If you don't exercise your emotions, if you don't take control of your courage and your compassion, if you don't utilize them, you lose them. But if you condition yourself, you can be courageous in places where you used to be fearful. You can feel strong in places you were weak or afraid. You can find yourself following through where you used to procrastinate, but that's what this whole system really is.